Did you know that building a firehouse in The Sims 3 can not only enhance your gameplay and storytelling skills, but it also gives you the opportunity to recreate one of your favorite TV shows? Mine would have to be Chicago Fire, because I'm going to be on Chicago Fire literally tonight on NBC at 8 p.m. Central. But if you're watching this video in the future, you can also watch it on Peacock whenever you feel like it. I thought, why not build a firehouse in The Sims 3 just so I can say, I'm so excited to be on TV on Chicago Fire on NBC. Now, there's two reasons why I'm building a fire station in The Sims 3. One, because we have a functioning firefighter career in this game, but then also two, I'm gonna be on Chicago Fire at 8 p.m. Central on NBC. But of course, if you're watching this video in the future or the actual episode, you can watch it on Peacock whenever you feel like it. But knowing the fact that my face is going to be on TV for millions of people to see is crazy. Now, don't get me wrong, I love acting. I love storytelling in any shape or form, whether it's in The Sims, whether it's through voiceover, whether it's through on camera, whatever it is, I love it. So when I'm able to see a general description of like the character and the world, of getting like the vibe of it all, especially like knowing what time period, where it's located, etc., and take that piece and analyze it, break it down, and bring it to life through an audition is so exciting. I find myself always trying to do something new, whether it's on screen or voiceover, but I have learned so much through taking acting classes, and I have to thank my acting coach, Kimberly Crandall from Actors Site, of teaching me and training me about everything from character breakdown, character analysis, co-star roles, voiceover, you name it. She has it all. She's done it all and still continuing to do it all in Thrive. And if it wasn't for her, I probably would have not known like the general basics, but also how to further advance my skill set and my career for the long haul. So if you ever wanted to be an actor or train or just really perfect the craft of like improv, co-stars, voiceover, drama, comedy, commercials, anything, I will leave a link down below to actorsite.com for you to check out for yourself, because trust me, the teachers there are fantastic and they know what they're doing. They've been in the industry for a lot longer than I have. So learn from the professionals, not me. But I want to give a huge shout out to my lovely team at Baron Entertainment for getting me this role on Chicago Fire, but also my lovely and wonderful manager, Albert at AE Talent, for supporting me and helping me and navigating through my career through all of this. And I cannot wait to see what we do further in this lovely 2025 year. But overall, it's crazy to think that my face is going to be on TV and on the internet forever through acting. Because, making videos on YouTube and Twitch, that feels different, but it's also the same thing, but in a different format, if that makes sense. I'm the one like, producing, recording, editing, uploading all the things, where I am just the actor performing the lines or performing the said action in the best way I know how, and having the director do the director stuff and the editors do their editing thing and the writers do their writing thing. That's crazy. It's crazy. But I have been a huge fan of like all the Chicago, shows. I've seen every single FBI show. I've seen every single Law and Order show. Like, I am a huge Dick Wolf universe fan. Like, he's got something up here in his brain noggin. And I'm like, sir, how do you do what you do? Keep it up, because honestly, you're doing great. He'll never watch this video, doesn't even know I exist. Probably does, but also I had one co-star role, so he probably doesn't, but doesn't. Either way, probably will never watch this video. But if you are, hey, what's up? You're fantastic. Keep doing what you do and don't stop, because you're amazing. But I'm a blabbering mess today because I am just like over the moon and like just happy, because the day I announced that I got a co-star role on a big network long running TV show on Instagram and like everywhere on social media, everyone was so excited. I was excited. I was like over the moon, because this is like a new thing that I have always wanted to pursue since I was a very young child. And being able to see people on the screen that looked like me, like Black, male, like that was like amazing, and it still is. And I've always wanted to be, that kind of person for somebody else who's saying, hey, this kid looks like me on TV. I would love to be an actor or something like that for whatever reason and inspire other people down the line. And I've been a huge fan of like Denzel Washington, Viola Davis, Kelly Washington. There's like Will Smith. There's so many people who have been in this industry since they were literal children. And knowing that they've done so many amazing things in the TV, voiceover, movie industry, and still doing amazing and great things and doing a well dang job at it is so inspiring. And I would love to, be one of the greats and try and be the best version of myself, the best way I know how as an actor, but also as a person. And if I'm able to do that through The Sims first, cool. And I'm still doing that. I will never stop playing The Sims. I'll never stop storytelling in The Sims. It's my bread and butter. But when I'm able to do that on a bigger scale through acting or directing or writing, I cannot wait to get there because I am on my way of writing my very first like short film script, but also writing my very first book as well because it was a charity incentive and I said, I'll write a book, at $3,000 if we raise that much. We did for Hope for Haiti. And I said, oh, if we raise like $2,000, I'll write a short film script. We did that and I'm still writing it. And it's been a very fun process of me like taking down all the notes that I had in my head on a piece of paper and putting it in Notion and on a screen so I can see it and like jot down more notes as I continue to break down my characters, break down the scene, break down the general like world environment. I live for that stuff. Like character breakdowns are so exciting. They can be daunting at times, but when you are able to break down the character from like what clothes they wear, what's their personality, what do you think their age might be? How do they dress? Where do they live? Like the whole essence of a character, you get to break that down to your own interpretation and it's so thrilling and so exciting. I didn't think I would have like fall in love with character breakdown and I didn't really know what it was until I was training for it at Actor Site and I was like, this is what I do a lot in The Sims. I do this literally every single day. And I'm just like, I like this. I want to do more of it because I make up Sims storylines out of the blue in my head and speak words on screen and you all seem to like it, which is nice. But there are times where I'm like, I have no clue what I said, and I have never written down any storyline other than ones that I've made videos for and ones that I actually kind of like. I think I just have like this natural like essence of myself of like just wanting to storytell. And lo and behold, I utilize The Sims for my storytelling skills. Like I said in the beginning, The Sims can enhance your gameplay and storytelling skills, whether it's from the build objects, the aspirations, the skills, the general world you live in. Whatever The Sims gives you has a storytelling aspect that can enhance anything you do. And so, like for this fire station, even though I'm not building the exact replica of the Firehouse 51 station from Chicago Fire in The Sims 3, I wanted to build some type of fire station that I knew I was going to have fun in and play in. And so I wanted to be able to utilize this fire station not only for myself, but also to navigate the firefighter profession from The Sims 3 Ambitions, because that's when we got that career. And it was so unique and very cool when they added that into The Sims 3 many, many moons ago. And I've always found it so unique because you could go to work with your Sims and respond to fires, maintain the fire, house alarm and the fire truck and everything that comes with that job. You could help, improve it over time. And then even knowing that you could go to other houses and respond to said fires to take out the fire, rescue other Sims, break down doors. The whole ambitions pack was 10 out of 10. So stellar because it gave us firefighter career, it gave us the tattoo artist, it gave us the architectural designer career, and I believe also the ghost hunter career. I'm pretty sure. I know there were like 3 or 4 professions that came with ambitions that I thought were really, really cool. The whole trailer of it all is amazing, which I will link that down below. If you have never seen the Sims 3 Ambitions trailer, when they made trailers back then, I'm like, what am I watching? Is this a movie? Honestly, low key, it really was back then and it still is. And honestly, everything's iconic. But for this fire station, I wanted to make sure that there were many beds, but also a lot of rooms for general activities, living, sleeping, eating, whatever it really might be. Because personally, I have not built in The Sims 3 in so long, but also too, I kind of forgot how to build in this game because it's so different compared to The Sims 2 and even The Sims 4. I find Sims 3 building is on like X game mode and it's like, what is this game? What are we doing today? But I will say I kind of low key missed the color wheel and I was like building this on stream and I forgot how unique and how insane the color wheel is because you could customize almost every single object in The Sims 3 so that everything matches and it's out of this world amazing. And I'm kind of glad that we don't kind of have it in The Sims 4 because if we did, I think my game would literally explode, but then also I would get nothing done. Because knowing me, I love clutter. I love cluttering my builds. I always say clutter with a purpose because when you clutter a build, it kind of brings the room or the whole thing come to life because it shows that someone lives there, works there, or whatever it really might be, especially like what you're trying to do for that said room or build. If you're building something apocalyptic, everything's like trashy and dirty and broken. But if you're building like a suburban house, you want to make it very well lived in. Like families live there, kids, aunts, uncles, grandparents, you name it. You just want to have like that family setting. Now, for the actual fire station, you need certain things for it to function correctly, like the actual fire truck, that fire alarm thing that you usually hear when the bell rings, you have an emergency that you got to respond to, that thing. You don't necessarily need anything else besides like those two things. But I feel like in order to have a fire station, I wanted to make it well lived in. So I have, of course, the washer and dryer. I have a little kitchen, a little dining room, a little workout room, the sliding down pole thingy, and then, of course, the bedrooms and bathrooms and a little mini office area. I wanted to make it in like a home within a home, but you also work here. And I've played a lot with the Sims 3 Ambitions Firefighter career, and I found it so unique, but I never fully completed it. And I wanted like to test out like my knowledge and see what it was like. And it's so interesting because not only do you work at a fire station, you have to maintain your fire truck, you have to maintain certain things so that it can run better, drive faster, you can respond to emergencies a little bit better. But then also you want to make sure that you're strong enough so you could work on your athletic skill. So you go work on the treadmill or the bars or the weightlifting things, little things like that in order to do your job correctly. And I personally have always wanted to build my own fire station just to see what I could possibly do. And it's one of my all time favorite careers in The Sims 3, especially knowing that we have other ones like the daycare career and then, of course, the architectural designer one. I just found The Sims 3 active career so interesting to me that you had access to everything. The world was your oyster. And so building this fire station gives me like the benefit that I can thrive as a firefighter and do what I need to do this job well, at least well enough to get paid, save some lives, and go about my day and fix my truck so it can get a little bit better. But when I was a kid, I always thought it was so cool to see firefighters like on TV and in person because like what they do is so amazing, putting out fires, saving lives, saving people from burning buildings, whatever it might be, the EMTs. Like there's so many people involved in the whole fire station area, whether it's medical, whether it's an actual putting out a fire, they are there to save lives. And it's so amazing how they do this every single day. And they do it with pride and joy and happiness because they want to see that general smile on that person's face at the end of the day. At least I think so. And personally, for me, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a firefighter because I thought it was so cool. The big red truck, the horn, the hat, the gear, the whole everything was just fantastic looking. I mean, who did not want to be like a popo officer or a fire station firefighter or a lawyer? I mean, I've always wanted to be all those things because they were so cool and they, showed up at schools and volunteered and got to ride on the fire truck. Like there were so many fun childlike things I got to do that I wanted to be like them. But knowing me now, I'm like, ooh, there's a lot of work. But if they can do it, so can I. It just takes training, effort, and the willpower to do it. And honestly, it'd be really cool to like volunteer at like some fire station and do something to help, because I'm all about helping other people, whether it's, in person or online, whether it's monetarily or emotionally or physically, whatever it might be. I'm always there to help anyone in need. And I do a lot of charity fundraising online for Hope for Haiti, St. Jude, the Trevor Project. I mean, I've done so many things online, and you all have been there through and through helping me fundraise. We have done this together. We fundraise together literally almost every other month at this point, because we do one in February for my birthday month, as we always do. And then, of course, one in April for Hope for Haiti, which we're still fundraising for Hope for Haiti all month long for the rest of April. So if you want to donate to Hope for Haiti, link is down below in the description. Our goal is to raise $3,500. We're less than $300 away. To be exact, at the time of recording, we are at $231 at this current recording time. But we might be over that. Who knows? I don't know. But I will say, though, we do a lot of things, and we also fundraise for St. Jude every single May, and we're doing that very, very soon. And I am very, very excited for the St. Jude charity fundraiser. I mean, I'm excited for any charity fundraiser, and it's always so much fun to raise money, whether it's $1 or $10,000. We raised money for a cause that we all believe in, and is helping other people to live, thrive, and grow and learn and saving lives. Like with St. Jude, we do it every year in April, we do it every year in May, and we're able to help lessen the burden on the families, the patients, the kids, because at St. Jude, no parent ever receives a bill at St. Jude, because St. Jude is a children's research hospital. So all of their research is very experimental. And so they don't have to make the patients pay anything. And with Hope for Haiti, what they do is so phenomenal as well. With the Haitian community in 2010, they lost their homes, they lost their families, there were earthquakes. It was terrible. And Hope for Haiti is a charity organization in Naples, Florida, that helps the Haitian community to give them access to clean water, healthcare, and education, and also economic opportunities. And in Haiti, they have to climb a literal mountain that usually sometimes takes over 2 hours to climb. It is 200 flights of stairs, which is the equivalent of 10.5 miles every single day, just to get access to those basic needs. And of course, they have mobile clinics throughout Haiti and Marquardt and different places, but it's definitely a climb to get up there. I personally have never been to Haiti. I don't think I have family in Haiti, but I had a general connection to seeing people are in need of help. I want to help in some way. And I've been like this my entire life. And when I saw a video presentation in my high school, my freshman year, I cried my eyes out. And I'm like, I want to help these people. And at the time, I did not know how. But after a couple of years of being online and having a lovely following base, the Spring Squad, we can do so many great things together, and we will continue to do it until the rest of my life, really. And, of course, after I go, because I'm trying to help everyone in any shape or form, whether I'm here or not here. But overall, I will say this fire station is my my bread and butter, my love, my joy, and I cannot wait for you all to see this fire station, because knowing me, we've got some plans for this fire station today and also tomorrow. I'll be doing some live streams on Twitch where we'll be playing as a firefighter for very long hours. So if you ever want to stop by, you can. But other than that, though, I'm going to go ahead and go into the game and show you all the build in real time. So that way you can kind of get a gist of what I was doing. And also, too, if you have not seen The Sims 3, this is a perfect video for you. So now that we're in The Sims 3, we are in the town of Bridgeport, which is the world that came with The Sims 3 Late Night Expansion Pack. And personally, it just made sense. I'm going to be on Chicago Fire. The show is based in Chicago, which is a windy city. The vibes, it just made sense. So honestly, a win is a win, and we love it. But for this fire station, I wanted to make sure you had basically anything and everything you needed, but also the main requirements like the fire truck, the alarm and also like the little sliding down pole and some extra bits and bobs basically. But I wanted to make sure it felt lived in, but also functional at the same time. So I added in some like debug cars. So that way, if your Sims are driving from home and coming here, they can park over here, which is a nice spot rather than having it in their inventory or on the street. They can park here. And then usually whenever I see like a TV show or a movie that has like fire station, there's usually some type of like animal living there. So I added in like a pet house on the outside, a little picnic table, a dumpster, a little hopscotch moment, because usually fire stations are meant for like adults, but then sometimes kids come by. Fire stations have like community day, things like that for the community to come to. And of course, kids come along. So I wanted to make sure it was very family orientated at the same time. So it's like footballs, hopscotch, and then I also added in like this little sandwich sign because sometimes they might have food that they want to give out to people like the homeless or anyone that wants to need food, they can come here. And of course, I added in a nice little school bell because I feel like a bell on a fire station made perfect sense. And then for the inside, what we got going on here is a lot. Now, the Sims 3 building is nothing like the Sims 4 or the Sims 2. Sims 3 is like in their own universe, and it's so odd and weird, but so great and advanced at the same time. But I wanted to make sure this whole area was open space, open floor plan, so I can just do what I want, how I want, and then kind of sprinkle in some creativity here and there. But as for the inside, as you kind of walk into the front door of the fire station, you're greeted by a plethora of things: chairs, strollers, music tables, shoe rack, and even a desk with a computer on it. I felt like mostly the entrance area was going to be a place where visitors come by, or family, or you work here and you need somewhere to sit. Things like that, essentially. So I have like a nice little welcome desk if anybody wants to come by, check in, and go their merry way. But then also take off your shoes. We don't want to track mud up in here. We keep it clean. We want a tight ship at Firehouse 51, okay? Thank you. But then I also feel like if it's a community day or whatever it might be, you gotta have your little music, you gotta have like some books and like some posters and some awards on the wall. And like even having the awards on the end table seemed like a really good idea to display you're a hero, you're doing great work, keep it up. But then also the speedy pole that leads to the upstairs and also leading down the first floor right here. And I also added in a stroller because of course community day, infants, babies might come here. They gotta have somewhere to sit and roll around. And then on this side, like I mentioned, there's gonna be like a pet of some type. So I added in a indoor pet bed in the corner near the fire hose. And of course, when you're a firefighter, you do be funky. So you gotta wash your little nasty little clothes. So I added in a washer and dryer over here. I added in two of each, so that way if one's being used, you can use the other one, and you're pretty much good to go. Of course, you have your detergent bottle, your clean clothes. There's no dryer sheets, didn't find any in Build and Buy, but that's okay. I also added in like this important message that also has like, I would assume the name of the fire station and a bunch of people like heroes and messages and investors or whatever it might be on this. But it looked really nice and it worked very well for the fire station here. But then on the other side is just a bunch of like random clutter objects to fill in that space. And none of it is actually usable, but it looks nice for the general decor for the fire station. And so I wanted to add it in. But then of course you have your dining room with your buffet table and of course your main kitchen. Now, I was going to add in other appliances, but I wanted to make sure your Sims had enough space to cook on, because I kind of forget how Sims 3 Sims technically cook and what they need in order to like cook on said surface. So there's a lot of empty space, but you have your main requirements: your lovely microwave, your coffee machine, your sink and dishwasher, and your stove and your fridge. But basically, every counter is open to your own interpretation on how you want to utilize it. And of course, you cannot go wrong with a Sims 3 build of not adding in your fire alarm. Firehouse, fire alarm, it just makes perfect sense because you don't need to have a fire in a fire station. That's just downright crazy. So be safe, and don't be crazy. But as we make our way over to here, you have your workout area. So you can go on the treadmill, you can go on the nice workbench, your pull-up bar, and of course you have your coffee and your stereo and your mirror. And then of course the main place where you gotta be, your Woo Woo 4000 trucks. So you have two of them, and of course you have to maintain them so they can keep up and running, very speedy and more alert. And you also need to have your fire alarm. So whenever something happens, whether it's a fire in an apartment or a house or whatever, or you need to rescue somebody, this will ring and alert your Sims to go to that location and save said Sims and extinguish the flames essentially. But for the upstairs, we have the main living quarters. So you have the bedroom, the bathroom, and of course the main open floor plan living room and office. Now, this area is consists of a lot of things. You have your two desks for your officey stuff. You have your piano for some music. You have your living room for your living room purposes, playing video games, listening to music, watching TV, whatever it might be. And of course, you could never go wrong of adding in this lovely video camera. Now, The Sims 3 Generations is hands down the best pack on top of Ambitions because it included two things: video cameras and also a like storage tower media bank thing. But with The Sims 3 Generations, you have this XZ cam and then you have this Sono video stop triple cam. These two things are allowing your Sims to video record any moment they want to a certain limit. And if you want to save that, you can just go and store it in your storage tower and then later on watch those videos on the TV. And it's like watching your home videos that you were like as a kid and seeing your embarrassing moments or happy moments and putting it all on display for the whole world to see. And I just love that about The Sims 3 Generations for those two objects alone. I would hope to one day we get that back in The Sims 4 because that would be so stellar for story gameplay and family gameplay through and through. Now, over here is the main living quarters. I didn't want to make the venue too big just because I felt like if you had too many beds and too many things to do, it'd be overwhelming. So I added in 4 beds and of course a shoe rack, and I added in the investigator case board because I feel like sometimes firefighters and police officers work hand in hand and they need somewhere to like put their notes and photos and whatnot to investigate a scene. So I added that into this build. A nice little mini fridge, a bookcase, a little hamper, and your little like hangout living mini room area. So of course, your sofa, armchairs, and TV. And then in here is the main bathroom. I added in the locker so you can change your clothes, a couple of sinks, and also a plethora of like, toilet, potty squatty attire. But we have 2 all-in-one showers. Now, the all-in-one shower came with the Sims 3 Island Paradise, and essentially it's in the title, an all-in-one sink, toilet, and shower. And it's the best object in the world with The Sims 3. So I had to add in 2 of those, a little urinals and also stalls. And I felt like adding in a shower or a tub would just be kind of redundant. So your Sims could just use the all-in-one and be perfectly fine. So I added in basically all of your needs and wants in a bathroom. But as we make our way to the back area is where kind of everyone hangs out and has fun. So I added in the trampoline, a little fire pit, a plethora of already planted plants. So you have like your tomatoes, your bell peppers, your onions, your other bell peppers, your basil, your onion plant. You just have a plethora of fruits and vegetables and your trees here so you can harvest them, make your own stuff. Because what I've learned and what I've heard is that firefighters love to cook in the kitchen, whether for themselves, but mostly sometimes for the entire like group at the firehouse. But with all that being said, this is the entire firehouse in The Sims 3, and I'm really glad that I did this because knowing that I'm going to be on Chicago Fire literally tonight at 8 p.m. Central, but also on Peacock the next day is so exciting for the world to see. And so if you ever see the episode either tonight or whenever, please tag me on social media, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Blue Sky, TikTok, whatever it is. I'm on every platform. It's just SpringSims. Tag me. I would love to see your reactions. But with all that being said, if you do want to download this build for yourself, I will put a link down below in the description along with the other links that I have mentioned before. And as always, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye!